All right, thank you for being back for another video. Thank you if you also watched the last video, which was on implementing open pretty good privacy, where we did a bit of verification, encrypting, and decrypting as well via email messaging. Now, for this video, we're actually going to take a look at two-factor authentication with Secure Shell specifically. Now, this is we're going to go over a few things as far as developing, connecting to just a few servers, just Win10 and Kali Linux. There's also with configuring Google Authenticator. So this should be actually a fairly quick video. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and log in. Now, ultimately, what we want to do is make sure that we implement and manage engineering processes using secure design principles, right? And we also want to understand the fundamental concepts of security models via confidentiality, integrity, and multi-level models, right? We also want to take the opportunity to for applying cryptography, right, which I touched on another video, and as well as applying secure principles to site and facility design, as well as assessing and mitigating the vulnerabilities of security architectures, right? There's also as well as their designs and solutions. So what we're going to do first is, well, really only is configuring the Google Authenticator, which is a very productive application that typically provides and allows for two-factor authentication on the device that we want to improve the level of security against, right? So it's a time-based one-time password algorithm. I actually used it the other day for downloading the app to my iOS device and making it an extra layer outside of it, sending a text to my phone whenever I'm trying to log in from an unrecognized device or resetting the password or something. So now what we're going to do is take a look at installing some dependencies. So let's take a look at opening the terminal, but we're going to open up another one, that terminal, the Q terminal here. All right, perfect. Now let's get started with this here. All right, should take just a few seconds for it to install. So for it to get started, rather, so at least the updates, so we can download the authenticator. All right, so now that it's finished up, we're going to go ahead and download the authenticator. Okay, thought I was typing. Okay. This is where we're getting a file to download. I actually should have just taken you guys on the other side of this. You don't have to set this. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Okay. All right, let's fix this. All right, perfect. So now that I got the install complete for the authenticator, and I gave it a bit of time also to collect the information together, even though the screen might hang a bit as far as Callie working on the request. So just to give me a clean screen here, just going to clear this out, right? And then let's take a look at the authenticator. Right, yes, of course, right? Yes, we do. Right. All right. So we also, so this is asking a few things, right? As far as, just not going a bit too quick, to restrict some token usage and disallowing multiple uses of the same authentication, of course, thereby, again, helping to prevent the attack that we mentioned, the man-in-the-middle attacks, right? Which is when, just to explain that a bit, which is when a malicious attacker may intercept the information that's being exchanged between two parties. And that particular attack, the attacker can also alter the information. And in that situation, right, or that particular attack, the information sent from one party can be altered and received by someone else. So we also can see in the throes of this, we'll see a secret key, verification code, and emergency scratch codes assigned. And these codes can be used on mobile devices or other computers to confirm the identity of the user, right? So I also agreed to the time skew as well, and the enabling of rate limiting and a few other things. But now the Google Authenticator is installed and ready to use, but we must assign this function to Secure Shell, which is going to be, considering of our next task is going to be configuring the PAM module and Secure Shell, because PAM works as a layer between the user and application in the authentication process. I'm just going to configure the PAM module, which will be the application module of the SSH to work together. So I'm going to do a few things here. All right, so let's go ahead and clear this out. Let me type here. Perfect. So now we're just going to open up LeafPad. Okay. Because I don't know how to spell. Just not paying attention here. There we go. All right, perfect. So now we can see, is it? Okay, that's weird. Now we can actually, we're going to add some code under in the LeafPad here. So let's see. Read this. All right, so actually, let's do it instead. All right, perfect. So now that we added that piece of code, I'm just going to save the file here. All right. Save. All right, perfect. So now I'm just going to just minimize this. Then I get back here. Actually, I have to close it out. There it is. All right, so let's do this here. Actually, let me do that. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now we're just going to add some more. We're actually going to make some alterations to what we're seeing. So for the challenge response authentication, it currently is set to no. We're going to change that to a yes there. So we can enable the challenge response passwords. All right. And then let's see. So we're going to hit save here. Then we're going to close it out. And just to be restarted. Perfect. And then we want to check the status of it naturally, right? Yep, that is not how you spell that. There we go. Perfect. Active and running, just like we like it, right? So the services have successfully restarted. So that means we can actually in the terminal, and we're going to now get into our next task, which is going to be verification of the two-factor authentication connection, right? So let's actually swivel over to Win10. We're going to take a look at our putty here. Okay. All right, so now that we're finally in, we're going to open up Putty so we can actually take a look at a few things. So let's actually type in our IP. All right, we're going to do some open. All right, yes, of course. I'm going to log in as the root. I don't think I got that right. All right, let's try that again. Perfect. All right, so now we see that the secure shell connection is asking for a verification code to be entered into it. All right, so I'm just actually going to skip it, right? And of course, I'm showing the access denied. That's fine, just perfectly fine, right? We're going to actually get out of there. We're going to open up Internet Explorer. We're going to use tools here. Let me scroll down here. There we go. All right, just going to do that. We're going to run. Yes, we do. Close that. All right, perfect. Let's actually do this here. All right, perfect. So got the authenticator going here. So now we're just going to verify that authenticator. Oh, I'm sorry, I need the secure code. Let's see. I copied and pasted it here. Let's see, I don't think it's going to take across. 10. Okay. All right, we're going to get this on here one way or another. All right, so we got the code in here, the secret key. So let's see. The code is probably invalid. See, I doubt it. All right, so let's try this one here. Character. All right, so we're finally able to get it. So now we see our authenticator code populating here. So I'm actually going to pull this down just a bit, just enough so we're able to see it actually. And then I'm going to reopen PuTTY again. Let's do perfect. It's definitely not it. Access denied, of course. Close this out. Back up. Let's try that again. Perfect. We've successfully connected, right, with the code. So we have the authentication of the verification code, which allows us to log in. We have root access and the valid secure shell connection to the device using two-factor authentication. Now that brings us to the end of the video, where we, just for a brief recap, we configured some. Really, all we did was just configure the Google Authenticator. Not much of anything, but definitely an important topic to cover. So that was the end of this video. On the next video, it's going to be even more fun, where we implement secure socket layer virtual private networks using the ASA device manager. I'll see you there. Stay curious, stay secure.